Here are the crypto top headlines covered in this video. XRP price won't skyrocket until this happens, Ripple X director reveals. Next, Stablecoin Act gives Congress alternative to overriding Biden's SAB121 veto. Also, breaking, Terraform to pay $4.47 billion to resolve SEC civil lawsuit. Welcome to Crypto Top Headlines, where there's no clickbait thumbnails or titles, and no speeches on my opinions, just bringing crypto's news to you. We have a quick request that doesn't cost you anything in order to help. Help us grow this channel to 1,000 subscribers by September, which would be our channel's 1-year anniversary. All we ask is that you click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. By clicking on these, it does help grow the channel, so thank you in advance for doing so. Now, on to these headlines. Our first top headline, XRP price won't skyrocket until this happens, Ripple X director reveals. Ripple continues to face significant challenges as it navigates a prolonged legal battle with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Notably, XRP, its native cryptocurrency, has been the hardest hit, with investors enduring a 4-year consolidation phase. While various analysts have suggested that the cryptocurrency could recover based on technical factors, others believe it might take longer until all the legal issues are resolved. On Tuesday, Sean McBride, a former Ripple director, shared his views on the situation in a tweet, emphasizing the importance of a forthcoming judicial decision for any potential rally in XRP's value. Responding to a query from the XRP community about the recent dip in XRP's value despite positive news, McBride said, "Nothing significant is going to happen with the price of XRP until Judge Torres makes her decision, so anyone expecting anything different is delusional." The SEC's lawsuit, initiated in December 2020, accused Ripple of selling unregistered securities in the form of XRP, amounting to approximately $1.3 billion. While a favorable ruling by Judge Analisa Torres in July 2023 determined that programmatic sales of XRP did not constitute securities offerings, it found that institutional sales did violate securities laws. In an unexpected twist, the SEC recently announced its intent to seek a $2 billion fine against Ripple Labs, further complicating the situation. Ripple's chief lawyer, Stuart Alderati, criticized the SEC's actions, stating, "Our response will be filed next month, but as we have seen time and time again, the regulator is promoting false, misinterpreted, and misleading claims." McBride also highlighted the necessity of clear legislative frameworks in the U.S. to support the broader adoption and integration of cryptocurrencies. "The next big piece of this is clear legislation in the U.S., he stated, hoping that recent developments in Congress and former President Trump's support for crypto could pave the way for favorable regulations. A member of the XRP community also raised concerns about the potential impact of an SEC appeal if Judge Torres rules in Ripple's favor. McBride responded optimistically, suggesting that an appeal would not necessarily impede Ripple's operations. "Shouldn't stop what's happening in the U.S. from happening, IMO, unless, of course, the ruling is not in Ripple's favor," he remarked. That said, despite the ongoing legal battle and market uncertainties, McBride affirmed that he remains a staunch supporter of Ripple and XRP, advocating for a realistic view of the company's challenges and potential. "I'm a big fan of Ripple and XRP. That doesn't mean I'm a sheep blinded by the reality of what's happening behind the curtains," he stated, encouraging the community to maintain a balanced perspective. At press time, XRP was trading at 48 cents, reflecting a 1.89% surge over the past 24 hours. Let me pause here for a moment. If you're getting value out of this video, please click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. Our next top headline, Stablecoin Act gives Congress alternative to overriding Biden's SAB121 veto. President Joe Biden's veto of the SAB121 repeal was a blow for the crypto community. Can the U.S. Congress override the veto with broad bipartisan support? The political costs for Congress to override President Joe Biden's veto of H.J. Res. 109 might be too high. Congress recently voted to pass H.J. Res. 109, which would repeal the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's Staff Accounting Bulletin No. 121, or SAB121, with uncharacteristic bipartisan support. SAB121 requires banks to record customer crypto assets on their balance sheets as liabilities, a practice unique to digital assets. Removing this requirement would make it easier for banks to conduct business with the crypto industry. The exceptional show of bipartisan support saw the resolution pass in the Senate with 60 votes to 38. Despite support for the resolution in Congress, Biden vetoed the repeal, stating that he will not support measures that jeopardize the well-being of consumers and investors. On X, Blockchain Association CEO Kristen Smith said Biden may be swimming against the tide of public opinion and growing consensus in Congress. What options do Congress and the crypto industry have if support is so strong? Congress has the votes to overrule Biden's veto. While Biden's veto presents a challenge, both chambers of Congress require a 2/3 majority to overrule it. The House of Representatives will need 290 votes to override the veto, with the Senate requiring 66. The House comprises 218 Republicans and 213 Democrats, while the Senate has 49 Republicans and 47 Democrats and 4 independent senators. Despite the crypto-friendly tendency within the Republican Party, with former President and current presidential candidate Donald Trump recently coming out as a proponent of the crypto industry, it still needs to sway several Democrats to succeed in overturning the veto. But crypto doesn't seem as divisive or as polarized as other issues. In a recent episode of the Unchained podcast, Republican Senator Cynthia Lummis said the principal reason to be able to gather bipartisan support to repeal SAB121 wasn't because of a political accomplishment, but simply because it hadn't gone through the proper procedure. The bipartisan votes were solely about a ballot for or against crypto, but against not following the standard procedures. Lummis admitted it's tough to legislate in an almost equally divided House and Senate, but said that the good news is that digital assets are not a partisan subject. On May 22, 2024, the U.S. House approved the first digital asset legislation in U.S. history, the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century, or FIT21 Act. It did so with strong bipartisan support, gathering 71 Democrats, who joined 208 Republicans, to pass the legislation by a 2-to-1 margin. Congress has overridden presidents' vetoes in the past, with Donald Trump and Barack Obama both having had their vetoes overturned. However, Congress may have more prudent options. Stablecoin Act provides an alternative. The cryptocurrency industry has only recently acquired broader support among U.S. lawmakers. The latest bipartisan vote for H.J. Res. 209 and FIT21 were historical moments for the crypto community. According to some observers, shaky support for the industry among lawmakers and the upcoming presidential elections means representatives will unlikely go to bat over a veto repeal. Daniel McCabe, former crypto lawyer and chief compliance officer of digital payments firm Flexa, told Cointelegraph there isn't a realistic chance of Congress overriding Biden's ill-conceived veto during an election year. Congressional Democrats will not want to create election risk over this issue. A frontal dispute against the Democratic leader months before a federal election may not be the wisest course of action. However, McCabe mentioned that Democrats still have the chance to pass the Lummis-Gillibrand Payments Stablecoin Act, which effectively kills SAB121 without needing a veto override. The Lumos Gillibrand Payment Stablecoin Act was introduced on April 17, 2024, and provides a regulatory framework for stablecoins. It also stipulates that crypto assets held in custody by financial institutions should not be considered assets or liabilities on their balance sheets, which directly conflicts with SAB121. Tyler Adams, co-founder of blockchain development firm Cause, with previous experience lobbying in Washington, D.C., told Cointelegraph that this could be a strategic option for Democrats as they are trying to walk a fine line on a topic that could cost them legislative seats and the presidency. Pro-crypto lobbies into action. Lumos said that some factions in both parties are still ideologically opposed to passing favorable crypto regulation. She described how, within the Democratic Party's progressive wing, there are politicians who are uncomfortable with assets that the government does not control. A similar concern is also shared among the less libertarian-leaning conservatives who struggle with that same notion of facilitating what they see as an unknown competitor of the U.S. dollar. The crypto industry has begun lobbying hard to change this. Days after the veto on June 3, 2024, Coinbase donated $25 million to Fairshake, a federal crypto-focused super political action committee, or PAC, that promotes crypto-friendly candidates. The banking lobby is also getting involved. McCabe highlighted that it is well known that the resolution to overturn SAB121 was supported by the big bank and digital asset sectors alike. He believes that pro-crypto lobbies and the banking industry could absolutely have an effect. The banking and pro-crypto lobbies have two options for removing SAB121, advocating for a smooth entry of the Lumos Gillibrand Payment Stablecoin Act, or convincing lawmakers to put pressure on the SEC to withdraw SAB121. Both options could please Democrats, as they wouldn't directly harm Biden's candidacy and would dissipate the risk of a potential hot potato in the run-up to the U.S. elections. Our next top headline, breaking, Terraform to pay $4.47 billion to resolve SEC civil lawsuit. The settlement would resolve a civil lawsuit filed by the Securities and Exchange Commission following Terraform's collapse in 2022. Terraform Labs has agreed to pay the United States Securities and Exchange Commission roughly $4.47 billion as part of its settlement with the securities regulator. The total remedies include disgorgement fines of roughly $3.6 billion, a civil penalty of $420 million, and pre-judgment interest of nearly $467 million. The settlement was reached after a jury found Terraform Labs and its co-founder liable for the Terra ecosystem collapse, which erased $40 billion in investor assets. In accordance with the settlement plan, former Terraform Labs CEO Do Kwon is liable for $110 million in disgorgement penalties, $80 million in civil penalties, and roughly $14.3 million in pre-judgment interest fines. The settlement filing laid out the next immediate and short-term steps. Payment of the monetary remedies against Kwon shall be deemed satisfied, provided that all transfers of Kwon to SEC and the Terraform bankruptcy estate in the bankruptcy case total no less than $204,320,196, excluding the value of any Terraform crypto assets transferred to the Terraform bankruptcy estate, only if and until Kwon completes, number 1, transferring into an escrow account agreed by Kwon and the commission staff $4,700,000 within 30 days of the final judgment. The filing also stipulated the transfer of all crypto assets belonging to the Luna Foundation, Guard, and all Pith Network, or PYTH, token holdings from Kwon to cover the cost of the disgorgement fines and prejudgment interest, with any remaining amount from the sale of these assets to be applied to the civil penalty fines. SEC versus Terraform Labs, a quick history. The SEC filed a lawsuit against Terraform Labs in 2023, accusing the firm and its founder, Do Kwon, of selling unregistered securities and defrauding investors after the collapse of the Terra ecosystem. In 2022, the Terra USD algorithmic stablecoin began to show signs of instability, followed by investor flight from the Terra ecosystem, which essentially amounted to a bank run. Not long after widespread fears about the Terra ecosystem gripped the market, Terra USD lost its dollar peg and collapsed, leading to billions in losses for holders of the assets. Founder Do Kwon still in limbo. The fate of Do Kwon remains uncertain as courts in Montenegro wrestle with what to do with the South Korean native. Courts in Montenegro have reversed course on the decision to extradite Kwon several times. Attorneys for the Terraform founder argued improper procedures and filings in the lower courts have tainted the court proceedings in the many appeals they filed. At the time of writing, the High Court in Montenegro is still attempting to determine whether to extradite the Terraform founder back to his native country or the United States to face charges. So this concludes Crypto Top Headlines. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. Also, leave your thoughts in the comments and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you all for watching Crypto Top Headlines, bringing crypto's news to you.